everybody, Chef Chad Armstrong here, founder of Home Cook Academy, and welcome to today's video lesson on artichokes. You know, artichokes are probably one of the main top 3 things I get asked. What do I do with this? How do I prepare this? How do I get through these tough leaves? You know, it's a really intimidating looking vegetable, and you see it, you know, they always have a big displays of them during the growing seasons, you know, which is, you know, usually twice a year, usually in the spring and the fall, they'll have, you know, a nice a selection of artichokes, and that's when they're really at their peak. You know, and you know, through most of the spring, most of the fall is the best time to buy artichokes, but you can usually find them year round, and they're being grown in a lot more places now than just like, you know, California. So, you know, definitely get out there, let's try artichokes, especially after you see this video. You know, one of my favorite ways to do an artichoke and to prepare it is probably just as you see it, where I just leave it whole and I'll steam it. And so steaming is really one of the best ways to retain, you know, the nutrition of either a vegetable or, you know, fruit or whatever it may be. But steaming really helps retain that. If you boil something, boiling will start to leach out some of that nutritional value into the water, where steaming helps it to stay with it. Now, with steaming though, and if you're going to do it whole, or even if you're going to take and maybe roast this, like or grill it, which I'll explain in a second, you want to take just a pair of kitchen shears and cut off some of these little spines, these little thorns that you see, just the tips of them, just to get rid of that little piece there. Because when you steam these, you know, what you're going to eat, you're going to pull away a couple of these leaves, but when you get to the leaves underneath, you pull the leaf off, and the bottom of the leaf is actually the flesh that you're going to eat. And it's great for like dipping in hollandaise, or, you know, lemon butter, or, you know, whatever you may want to dip it into. An aioli is nice with it. Great, you know, just for putting out with a party where people can just help themselves, you know, to a couple of artichokes, which are, you know, just a fantastic appetizer, and a lot of good, you know, stuff going on. A lot of good fiber inside of these things too. So another way you could do it is if you take and you cut them in half lengthwise. I'll show maybe on this camera. Cut them in half lengthwise, and then either roast them or grill them. Just olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then put them cut side down either on the grill or on your sheet tray, and roast them off that way. Fantastic as well, great flavor. You know, I love doing them on the grill in the summertime, so fantastic. But what I'm going to show you today is actually how to take and prepare an artichoke and get it down to where you have just the heart. You know, everybody talks about it's got a heart, it's got a choke. You know, what do I do? There's so many things going on. But, you know, really what's inside of this, and from the stem up into the bottom, like third of this globe here, is what's called the heart. And that's what really the meaty part of this artichoke is. You know, there's also sitting on top of that heart is the choke, and the choke is just all these little tiny fibers that you want to scrape out. They're not edible. You don't want to, you know, ingest those. They get stuck in your throat. Not really. That's why they, you know, call it the choke. They're not really, you know, something that you want to mess with too much. So let's go ahead and break this down. I want to show you how to do this. I've got a couple of tools here. So I'll put my shears away, but I've got a paring knife and a serrated knife. And the serrated knife is because this is like a dinosaur. It's got like a thing of armor, a coat of armor around it. It's so tough, these leaves to cut through, and trying to cut them with like either a chef's knife or just a regular paring knife is really hard to get through those leaves. So if you just take and cut it, you know, find about halfway down with a serrated knife, and a serrated knife works really well to work through that armor. And you can see just how well it works. And so now I'm down to, you can see the purple there, and that's just where the choke is starting. So the choke is right in that area there inside of the heart. So I'm going to take these leaves, compost buckets. Always recommend have a compost bucket or a trash bucket wherever you're cooking, so that way you save time to have, instead of having to go to the trash can or take things elsewhere, they're just right there out of your way. One less thing to worry about, and just save so much time. So on the stem, now in the stem, there's plenty of meat right in there, and you can see the outline of it. And at the end, I'll cut this off, but I'm gonna take and just shave down and just work around that. And what I'm going to do is take and get a few of these bottom layer leaves off while I'm doing this too. So if you just cut straight down and get just into it, and you can usually, you know, just peel them back. And it'll make it easier when we're going to trim this bottom of this artichoke up. Cut a little bit more there. And I want to leave just that center, because that center is edible. That's the stem on the inside, and that's completely edible. You know, it's got a lot of good meat in there. You want to leave that with the heart itself. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I'm going to take, and holding my paring knife just like a grip, I've got my forefinger wrapped around just the base of the blade there around the edge, just holding it. I'm not actually turning my knife, I'm actually turning the artichoke, and I'll let you see. I'm going to go into it, and if you just start kind of shallow, you don't have to go in so deep, and just start working that artichoke around your knife, and there you have it. So now you're down to, I mean, I got just very little bit of the heart. You can see a little bit right there, but that's not too bad. Now that just goes into compost. I'll take off this little bit here, and then we'll get to the choke, and you'll be able to see it here in a second. You can already see they're coming out, all these little fibers right here. I've got a spoon that you can just take now and just scrape those fibers straight out. And they come out fairly easy with the spoon. You get to the bottom, and just work it around, just like you're, just like you're shaving. Get rid of all those. Because like I said, you don't want to mess with that choke. Those fibers really get stuck in your throat and are really just irritating. Not that they hurt you, but you would know that you had got them stuck in there for a while. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and finish trimming this up now. And you can see just how fast it's wanting to oxidize. It's going really quick. It's starting to brown. You already see through here. That's why I've got that acidulated water with a half of a lemon just squeezed into it to keep my chokes from oxidizing. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to get that right straight away into it. I'm just getting a little bit of this last little bit of green off. That's tough. And there you have it. That's really about it. There we go. Okay, now we're done with that. Okay, let's get that. So you can just see it real quick. I mean, you can see just how fast it's wanting to oxidize. It's starting to turn brown. I'm going to plunge that into the water to stop that as is. So now these I can take, if I wanted, I could take and cut them up into smaller pieces. I could slice them really thin and just steam them or saute them and put them into a salad. It'd be fantastic. You know, you can really do so many things with an artichoke once you know how to get to the center of it. That's really the hard part, is just getting through that. And just takes, do it a couple times. But enjoy artichokes. They're fantastic. Great, a lot of nutrition. Great for you. They're fun. My kids love steamed artichokes. They love dipping them into different things that I set on the table. Just having fun with it. It's something that people can get involved with. Whenever my youngest daughter sees it, she's like, "Oh, we're doing artichokes again. Can I do it?" She's like, wanting to put it into the steamer basket. So, just a lot of fun. So, if you enjoyed this video lesson, definitely subscribe to our channel. Check us out more. Go to our website, chefchadarmstrong.com, for recipes and more videos. And there's some free stuff on there too for you. So go ahead and check us out, and we'll see you in the next video lesson. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.